Greetings. Greetings. Hello, Todd Falcone checking in for kind of an interesting chat today. Why I left company X. Okay, so I left the X as just a blank to just company X. So I've seen an interesting trend over the last, I don't know, it's not like it's a new trend where when somebody is with a network marketing company and by the wait, before I even get into that, I would love to hear from leaders in the field, like how do you feel when somebody does this? Like, so that the person leaves a company, they go to another deal and they do a Facebook live or they do some kind of big video on why I left company X and all the reasons why this deal isn't any good. And what they're doing is they're obviously going into a new company. And so, I'm personally, I think there's just a way better way of transitioning from one company to another. If somebody's going to transition from one company to another, instead of saying, hey, these are all the reasons why I left this company. Kind of like, it's almost like so one of the reasons I don't like using or having people use like YouTube videos to disseminate opportunity or product information. Like I would never so I'm kind of doing a couple different lessons in here, I guess. Like I would never, as a leader in the field, send somebody to a YouTube page to watch the corporate video or to watch a product video, because marketers are pretty smart. They're going to have this video, the 17 reasons why I didn't join this company. And what do you think your prospect is going to do? Is your prospect going to go, oh, I'm going to watch this video, or I'm going to look at the 17 reasons why I didn't join this company, or why I left company X or whatever? And it's a distracting thing. So just a kind of a lesson within the lesson. But I'm really curious how leaders feel, like you guys. If you're a leader in the field, or even not a leader in the field, like somebody's leaving a company and they're making this big old announcement of like why I left company X. And, of course, they're doing it so they can get people to be curious, like, because people feed on drama. And so it's like, oh, well, what's wrong with the company? But the problem is, it's like, now you got people like let's say, for example, the person ultimately left company X because maybe they just sat on their laurels for the last 10 months and they didn't do anything and their check dissipated. But then they make up stuff and they make up lies. And here's the other thing, by the way, network marketers are notorious liars. Okay. Look, I'm just going to tell you straight up. Like I was on a Zoom a couple of days ago, a few days ago. And I'm listening to two straight up lies that were completely untruths that I'm like, wait a minute, that's a lie and that's a straight up lie. No, those are absolutely not true. Not everybody does. I mean, I do think, I remember Eric Worre saying, the truth is good enough. And I do believe the truth is good enough. Like you don't need to exaggerate. You don't need to blow things up bigger than they appear. Like the objects in your mirror may appear bigger or may be closer than they appear, or something like that on those big truck car mirrors. But all right, let me stay on point. So it just, like, the crazy thing is, like, a lot of newer people that are excited about a product or excited about a company, they joined a month ago, a week ago, 2 months ago, whenever ago. And then they see this video, this person that says, why I left company X. And what's that going to do to that person? It's going to totally plant this seed of doubt. Like, what's wrong with this company? Or, oh my gosh, did I make the wrong decision? Did I screw up? And it just, I don't know. I just, from an ethical standpoint, I mean, you can do whatever the hell you want to do, I suppose, but I just don't think it's cool. I mean, let's put yourself, just reverse the shoes. Like, what if you're over in this new company and you did the why I left company X, and then another person leaves your company? Because here's the thing, people leave great companies all the time. The company could be flying and people leave the company. It could be, just kind of going along and people leave the company. If a company is going this way, people leave the company. People leave companies for all sorts of different reasons, and in periods of growth or periods of flatness or periods of downturns. And I see people do this all the time, and it just makes me shake my head. It's like, why do you want to create more drama? Instead, like, why not do the approach of like, I just found something that I just couldn't help but do. I'm so excited about it. I'm going to make an announcement this coming Monday or whatever, and do it in that manner rather than planting these seeds of doubt. I think people, sneakily they do it because they're like, ooh, maybe some of the people from the company that I just left are going to come over with me. And, and people leave for different reasons. Like I said, it could be, maybe they were sitting on their laurels and they weren't doing anything for a long period of time. Maybe they don't really vibe with the products. 25, 30 years ago, I left a company because I just didn't really dig the product so much. I didn't do, back then there was no Facebook to do any announcement, but I didn't do it anyhow. I just walked away from the company. And what I did is I just disappeared off into the sunset, and I stopped building with that company. And I just went on to build another company fresh. And that company actually continued to pay me for many, many years into the future. Like if somebody does that, they're likely, probably going to get terminated. Not probably for just that one, but for cross-line recruiting when that they ultimately get caught for that. But I'm really curious to know from you guys, like, how do you feel when someone makes this big announcement that says why I left this company? And then they go through all the list of the reasons of what's wrong with the company. And let me also say this for anybody who's newer in this business, because I've been in this profession for like 35, almost 36, 36 years. Long time. And I've seen companies come and go. Companies come and go. People come and go. Leaders leave companies. Newer people leave companies. And the level, like I talk about this business a lot being a confidence game. Okay. The independent distributor in the field needs to have confidence in the company and the ownership. They need to have faith and confidence in the profession of network marketing. It's like a lot of people are involved in network marketing, but they don't even really have confidence in it. They're still doubting, is it real? Does it work? Is it really that thing that my Uncle Ned told me about? It's one of those things. Did I make the right decision? They need to have confidence in their upline leadership, the people that are in the field. They need to have, again, like I said, confidence in the products and the goods that are being sold into the marketplace. And then ultimately they need to have confidence in themselves. And there's a really very fragile, it's like this momentum of moving forward, and I'm not necessarily saying being a company being in momentum, but this press forward of business, business is good and things are moving along is pretty delicate. And it can be easily disrupted when somebody of significance leaves a company, especially when they do it publicly. And I'm not going to use the term that when a leader leaves a company. It's more just like when a person of visibility leaves a company for whatever reason. Just so you guys know, people always have and always will leave companies and either exit the profession or exit to another company. That's always happened, always will happen. No, will never stop happening. But I think it's the style in which people do it. I'm not going to tell people what to do. I have my very strong opinions about it. Like for me, in my history of being in network marketing, I've never been terminated from a network marketing company ever. If I left a company, it was for very specific reasons. And when I left to go to a new company, I left that organization completely intact and walked away and just, disappeared off into the sunset. And in 3 of those occasions, like one of them paid me for like a dozen years, one paid me for 8 years, and one that I haven't done anything with for, I can't even count how long, is still paying me for like 18, 20 years ago. So, it's crazy because you're building this asset. And then if you leave a company and trash talk the company that you're with, first of all, there's going to be bad blood in the water. There's going to be people that are pissed off. There's going to be relationships that will be broken that are not mendable. I think that there is more of, a clean way to do it than making this big announcement and then trash talking the thing that you were like 3 months ago was the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then you're just no. There's a difference between just saying why I left and being generic in those reasons. I still don't like that. But then if you're trash talking the company, man, the company's going to come after you. If you are talking smack about the company that you left, which literally like 2 months ago was the greatest thing ever, you were out promoting it. And then for whatever happened, you decided to change your mind and go do something different. You will get sued, and you probably deserve to get sued if that happens, if you end up, really smack talking it. And I know I did a video about this, like just on that particular part of the subject matter, probably it had to have been in the last 7 years because I was living in Oregon at the time. And that was like a hugely viewed video by tons of CEOs, presidents of companies, people running companies, because of, I think everybody, even top leaders, were all in agreement. Like, no, that's not a cool thing to do when you built a company for a period of time, whether it's an extended period of time or just a period of time, and then you left, and then you were just smack talking. And people do this all the time. They're trying to, it's like a sneaky way of getting people to come on over here, come with me. And it's just kind of, unfortunately, it's part of the game that we're in. It's funny because people don't go from IBM or go from NVIDIA to Intel and go do a post on why I left. I don't think anybody would, maybe reverse. Maybe people would leave Intel to go to NVIDIA because NVIDIA is just a way better company, in my opinion. And I think the stock market shows it too. But yeah, so I just, what do you guys think? Do you just love it when now you got to do damage control? Now you got to get phone calls from people on your team. Oh, so and so left the company. Is everything okay? Or even if they don't do an announcement, then they find out through the grapevine that this person left and went into another company. Especially if they're a person of significance, then they're people are they're having to do damage control. No, everything's okay. Everything's going to be all right. I've seen very high level earners leave companies and walk away from big money to go do another deal. And if look, it's their choice to leave and go and do something different. That's that's a beautiful thing about entrepreneurship and our personal freedoms. We got to go do what we want to do. And so I don't like disrespect anybody that makes a decision to go from one company to another. That's totally your deal, and I've done it before. So, but I think it's more how it's done that makes a difference. And I don't know that the golden rule, do unto others as you'd have done unto you, is a pretty good rule. And would you want somebody doing that to you, like leaving your company and then doing everything they can to kind of get people to come over here? And the other part of it is like, you know what, man, the grass is not greener on the other side of the fence. The grass is greener where you water it. Now, I'm not saying sometimes there's reasons, like legitimate, real reasons why you need to make a change. I get that. But I would say in a good majority of cases, when people go from one place to another place, they tend to, it's just, they get over there and they peel a couple layers of the onion back, and it looks super shiny on the outside, and then you see the interior of the vehicle, and you're like, oh, it's or the engine. You lift up the hood, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's no engine in here. Using the automotive analogy for a second, but yeah. So anyhow, I've seen a lot of those over the years. It never happened in social media because you just couldn't do it in social media. Social media's kind of changed the game there. They can reach out and they can do these drama-filled posts or whatever. But I don't know whether you're. I want to hear from any of you. Like, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that's a cool style to leave a company by doing this? Why I left the company? If it was me, I personally just wouldn't do it that way. If I found something that was really exciting, that really I just could not do because there was some, I don't know, whatever. I was being compelled. I was just being so pulled in that direction that I just could not do it. I wouldn't say why I left this company, and I would maybe do it the opposite with a lot of positivity. Something I just was very excited about. I can't keep my mouth shut. I've never seen anything like this. Not hypey, but like how you actually feel. Not like that's another thing network marketers are notorious for is, building things up to be bigger than, like I said, bigger than they appear. So I don't know. I don't know. People are cool for the most part, but love to hear from you. Love your thoughts on the subject matter. This has been on my mind for a few days, and wanted to just do this and get some feedback from you guys. So anyhow, hope you're having a beautiful day, and we'll see you on the flip side.